Yeah! Yo, this is your boy Willie P from the Willie P Podcast, talking all things art, all things music. Hope you enjoy.
Recording. Is that working? Sweet. Well, yeah, man. Welcome to the Willie P Podcast. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man.
Episode 14, 13. Yeah, episode 14. Yeah. How's your music stuff coming along? Tell us about your projects and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Basically, I go under the moniker Wait Why on SoundCloud.
Yes.
It's just like a really spontaneous project that I did. Pretty much, I got a cousin overseas.
Yeah.
And he was looking into making raps, spitting bars.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And he approached me on, Messenger and oh, do you want to make music? I was like, oh yeah. Let me just whip out my MIDI keyboard,
Yeah.
We'll play something. I'll try and make something. But he was really into the lo-fi sound, and
yes.
I was kind of into the lo-fi sound as well. I've been listening to it just in the background.
Yeah.
And
100%. Falling asleep to that stuff is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, that's the vibe, man.
Yeah.
We did that. We made a 5-track mixtape. All of them produced by me.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And then I started, after that, around May, just this year, I started doing my own. So I had a vision on the instrumental EP that I wanted to make. I wanted to box myself in to a specific theme.
Yeah.
So I pretty much just used, because I'm Filipino, and I've used Filipino music as lo-fi samples, and turned out all right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I had a couple songs, threw some of them out, and made that 7-track EP.
Yes,
which was cool.
Link will be in the description, everyone, via SoundCloud. I'll chuck it in.
Yeah, definitely. I'll also send out that YouTube video of me just messing around on the SP404.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, 100%. That's cool as.
Yeah.
Ah, sick. So what did you find, what kind of would be a Filipino sound? Is a certain kind of instrument or do they kind of or I don't know, scales or yeah, I'm not too sure.
Not really. It's mostly sample-based music.
Yeah.
So I pretty much get different samples, do time stretching, warp them, according to the BPM, which was also a big learning curve for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I choose a lot of pianos, or a lot there were a lot of guitars in those. Just whatever was fitting. But yeah, sample digging even at YouTube was pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you gotta listen. Timing and stuff too. I used to I dabbled a little bit in electronic music, and I'd go and record something with my MIDI keyboard, and then I'd be like, oh, this bit's the tiniest bit out of time, and then you have to go back in and figure it out.
You gotta move those warp markers. Are you using Ableton, by the way?
No, I haven't used Ableton before. I use Pro Tools because I mostly make rock stuff, but I would like to get into Ableton because I'm making a rock project at the moment. It's a solo thing, but I would I think my next thing I want to make is kind of cyberpunky ambient electronic. So I probably will need to learn how to use Ableton.
Definitely. But yeah, I tried a different couple of DAWs, digital audio workstations, before. I tried FL Studio.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was straightforward, but I don't know. I would like it much more of a challenge. Yeah. I think Ableton you have a lot of different effects, and I think that was also just a part of me wanting to be challenged.
So, yeah, no, that's awesome. Because I was going to say, like, I'm so used to using like Pro Tools, obviously, and like I feel like when I do go to Ableton, it's just going to be because people have said like it's those two are like completely different. I guess they're kind of different uses as well. I guess you probably use Ableton. I could be wrong in saying this, but correct me if I'm wrong. Like for more like electronic stuff, and then I mean, rock stuff seems to be like mostly Pro Tools. Yeah.
I think, I've heard of people just using Ableton for electronic music.
Yeah.
But from the stuff that I've been using, like, I could pretty much, like I've tried recording my guitar through it. It was all right. Yeah. Like they have like a lot of different effects and all that. I think it's more about just a workflow.
Yeah.
But I haven't tried Pro Tools. But I tried FL Studio, and just the workflow is different.
Yeah.
I think it just clicks. It just clicks.
Yeah, because have you used like GarageBand much before? I guess I kind of compare that a little bit to Pro Tools. It's like that, but it's like there's just a lot more going on. I guess you could say it's a bit like Logic in some ways. I don't know if you ever used Logic before, but
I've used GarageBand before. Because I used to have like this really crappy SoundCloud where I record most of the songs.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
I don't know. Don't search it up. It's out there, but don't search it up.
Definitely don't put it in the description. That's awesome. No, dude, we all start somewhere. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, that was my first taste of using a digital audio workstation. It was it's pretty good to know what you're using and like to what extent you can do it. I think just because, well, some people do really good stuff on GarageBand, but I don't know. It never clicked on me, like the workflow for it.
Yeah.
But just a different vibe, I guess. Like I just love using it. It's pretty straightforward. Like, like you get comfortable to whatever pro software you want, and you just get comfortable with it.
Yeah, definitely.
It took a lot of time.
Yeah, because I love
it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely. I remember I started using Pro Tools, and I was like, because I started doing it at uni, and I'd just been using GarageBand before, and I was like, oh my god, I have to memorize all these shortcuts. This is fucking insane. I eventually got there, but it's so cool to like, I mean, especially going on like a lot of the professional stuff, like you can really, not to say that you can't make a fucking awesome record on GarageBand or anything like that, but it's like you can really tell the difference between like, and I'm sure it's probably the same with Ableton too. You're probably like, oh, like this shit's legit.
It's Joji? Do you know?
Yeah, I love Joji. Yeah.
Joji still uses GarageBand.
Does he really?
Really? Yeah.
No way.
He made a Rhythm Roulette. It's a YouTube channel where like the artist picks 3 different records blindfolded, and you're gonna make a song out of it. And like other producers were using FL Studio, like Machina, whatever. Ableton. He was using GarageBand, and he was like killing it. So, mad respect to him. Like he knows.
Do you use like all the plugins from like GarageBand as well, like all GarageBand plugins.
Yeah. Like from what I saw, like he was just using it, and probably because he's using like a lot of different samples anyway.
Yeah.
But that's his main DAW, which is cool.
No way! Wow, because I would have thought maybe Logic, but like that's kind of cool. Like, wow, God.
Yeah.
Because he's really progressed as like a producer as well. I mean, especially from the earlier albums like, to now, like, wow, GarageBand. I didn't know that. That's crazy. That's really cool though. Like that. Yeah. Wow.
I think it's not like from seeing that. It's more about like how you use it, depending on what you use. Yeah.
No, 100%. Because you have, I mean, you're obviously into like a lot of metal stuff. Like, what made you get like do the lo-fi route? or like a lot of the lo-fi pop stuff? I'm assuming a lot of different stuff, but yeah.
I think it's more about just the vibe. I really enjoy the vibe of like lo-fi.
Yeah.
Lo-fi hip hop or jazz hop, depending on how you label it or whatever. Yeah. Like that kind of like production style. Like I really like it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it takes like a lot of effort as well for, you know, like straightforward production techniques to make something really sound good.
Yeah.
But I'm going the other way around, how to make something sound really old and, you know, damaged.
Yeah.
And it's more about like that feeling, like capturing that, you know, like nostalgia kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because my listening habits stem from, I'm not sure if you know vaporwave. Vaporwave is like a subgenre of music where they use, it's also sample based music, and then let's say they take
before, but yeah, I haven't like listened to it. I've heard
that's okay. But like not a lot of people listen to it as well. It's mainly from Bandcamp and YouTube. But let's say you take a Michael Jackson song, you stretch it out, you make it really slow, you put a lot of reverb, put a lot of drums in on top of the drums, and it sounds like you're playing an old cassette. So I think that's kind of like the vibe, the vibe that I got from vaporwave. Like, well, vaporwave progressed so much into different genres, like chill wave, retro wave, like a lot of synth based music.
Is that all under the umbrella of like lo-fi hip hop, or is it kind of its separate thing?
It's a separate one.
Yeah.
But the vibe that I got from it, I didn't know that you can translate it into hip hop, like the beats. Yeah. So, it's weird because some people know lo-fi hip hop through like boom bap. Boom bap is just like another subgenre of hip hop.
Yeah.
And it's sample based music as well. And they've been using like, you know, like limited stuff, and which is cool. You make like really good songs out of it, like from the limitations you have, and I was really inspired to it. But it's more about the feeling and, you know, like production techniques, and I really enjoyed it, like once I got really immersed to it.
That's awesome.
It's so different from like I said, like so different from what I've been listening to like throughout the years.
Cause I was gonna say, like, when you're making stuff, like is your process like you try to keep it like simple but with like really good sounds, or is it more like you kind of try to do like a lot of different layers and stuff? Like how does it, what's sort of the mindset? It's kind of a hard question.
It's okay, that's good. That's a pretty straightforward question. It depends on the track that I want to build. Sometimes some people could call it lazy, like they could just like do a 2-bar loop and then put different elements layering on top. Or some of them have like, you know, everything is different, like from the get-go, and then it progresses into something different. But I think for me, it's more about like whatever the song calls, like whatever I feel like doing, like, you know, it's different for different people, and they'll probably have different opinions on the kind of music that, you know, anyone makes. It's sometimes I add like different layers, sometimes more of you know, intro, verse, chorus, like type beat. Sometimes no intro, like go straight to the verse, man, like, or do like straight from the hook. That's hook, verse, hook, and then outro, whatever. Depending on awesome. Whatever you want.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Because I was gonna say, do you do much like this is the thing that I've sort of started like learning and doing is like writing down, like I'll come up with like, I don't know, maybe an idea one time, and then I'll go back to it. I used to kind of struggle with like, if I went back to an idea to like know where to go from that. But like I started like writing down like structures and stuff. Like, is that a thing? Like, do you sort of plan your structures, or is it just kind of like, just kind of vibe it out?
For my personal projects, I did make structures. Like, like there's a clear intro, there's a clear like verse kind of thing. And then there's like a clear like chorus C type of thing. If I'm making like that lo-fi hip hop beats for someone who's gonna spit bars on, definitely it would help to have a structure. Some of the things that I've made for my own project were just like like play it out however I want. I don't quantize everything depending on whatever I want. Sometimes it's more about the feel. And like, well, you want to have variety as well. But I've heard like albums which have like the same loop going over and over the whole song, like for 10 tracks, and it sounds tight because
there's definitely something to that, like having like like some like 6 songs when they just have like 2 chords like the whole time. And it's so weird how it's like you'd think people would get bored, but then it's like, I don't know, it's really cool. Like when people can pull that off, I'm like, that's awesome.
Definitely. It's more about like some of them I reckon are intentional, like like they wanted it to sound like it's repeating over and over again. But if you listen closely, like some of them, like, they added another hi-hat here or whatever, like a different percussion over here. And so you keep on feeling like, it's okay. Like
those little differences.
So, my main focus at the moment is just like making instrumentals. Like I don't put any lyrics in. It would be cool, but
Well, I mean, that's so cool. You convey like emotion, like melodically too. Like, 'cause I mean, I don't know. I guess when everyone listens to music, it's different. I guess it does very much vary on the artist. But like when I'm listening to music, I very much more go towards like the melody than I do the lyrics. I'm not sure if that's like a normal thing. It's just how I do it.
Different things.
But I think that's like the raddest thing, when you can pull off like making like, I don't know, emotion melodically. I think. Yeah, it's very cool.
It's sometimes it depends on the sample that you want. Like the sample that you have and the sample that you can pretty much chop up. Sometimes, if you reverse the sample, it sounds different and it sounds better or whatever, and you feel something different. But like if you intend to have like really sad, like I really enjoy sad music, like sad, angry music. So
same.
you gotta like pick those samples, I guess. Like, mainly I dig through like old soul, jazz.
Fuck yeah, man.
Funk, a bit of funk. But I haven't sampled anything from like, emo. Although some producers do really well on like, emo guitars or whatever. But so I just prefer like the older sound, like the older music. Breathe new life to it.
100%. Like there's such a thing to like, I guess I get the same sort of vibe in like I don't know, like old black metal stuff as well. I guess that whole thing's like, it's all about the atmosphere, I suppose. Obviously, lo-fi hip hop and black metal look very different. But like it's that same kind of thing about like atmosphere and all that stuff. And it's like, I think sometimes, like I don't know, like I feel like it's kind of I wouldn't say it's an underrated thing, but like when people can pull that off, like the atmosphere, right? Like it doesn't really matter. Like if they're bad singing or whatever, it's like, man, if that vibe's good, it's like.
I dabbled a lot of on black metal before, It stemmed a lot from that Vice documentary, like One Man Metal.
Yeah, oh dude, that's so. Oh yeah, fucking the best.
It was intense. Like I listened to Streborg, like Zaster.
Yeah, man.
And then Leviathan.
Yeah, Leviathan's sick. I'm a big fan. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think the more lo-fi sounding one was Treborg before he went before he became like a black wave artist. He's making synth-based music now.
Yeah.
But before, he's just recording everything to a cassette tape. I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, cause I didn't know he was making new wave stuff. That's sick. I'm gonna have to go back and check it out because I didn't listen to Streetborg stuff like in entirety. Like I didn't go through a full album. But yeah, I remember when I was watching the documentary. Did he like go from like records like a tape and then like goes to the next amp and like which it's really cool, like very creative.
Yeah, different the recording techniques. It was really interesting. But yeah, I sat through a couple of Streetborg albums when I was in year 12.
Yeah,
it was a weird experience because you're listening to like a Tasmanian person speaking about a lot of winter. And, I mean, it's cool, you know.
Yeah,
like really, it's like he's coming from like Norway.
Yeah, 100%. No, like definitely. I get that, but I guess it's like, you know, similar surroundings. I was gonna say too, like, do you think your stuff is like your environment influences that, or is it more just like I'm feeling this vibe one day and like I want to make something like that? Like, do you think your sound sort of made like I guess from living where you are? I don't know.
But most of the stuff that I made, the main driving factor to it was I had a vision of whatever the end product is, and I'll just keep trying to meet that vision. And you know, like there's always the dilemma of, is this track good enough? Is this track sounding all right?
Yeah.
But in the end, you know, like who's gonna listen to this? And I think it's so freeing to just like, oh, who cares who listens to this? Like, I enjoy making it, so you know, hopefully it translates to the listener as well.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. No, I totally get that. I was funny. I was going through some of my old like stuff on SoundCloud the other day, and some of the stuff I was like, oh man, some of the stuff I was like, oh fuck. But like some of the riffs, I was like, fuck, that's actually like tight. I was like, man, I should like work on that more. But yeah, it's I know what you mean. It's like, you know, that whole thing about like, you know, who cares? Like what other it's like if you like it, you like it.
I've had a lot of experiences as well. Like I shelved the whole project for a month or two.
Yeah.
And that happened because I was like 3 tracks in.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was feeling burnt out because, you know, like uni as well, like work and all that.
Yeah.
And I went back and everything sounded fresh, I guess. And you get motivated as well, and you listen to other artists and you bring different influences in or whatever you want, and and it sounds really good now. So
100%. Because I was gonna say, like, because I struggle with that. Like, if I tried, I've been pretty strict on it now, but in the past, like, so many different phases. I was like, oh, I'll make an electronic project, and then I'm like, oh, like maybe I'll do like a doom metal thing, whatever. I remember. One of the projects, it's still on my computer. I think I made like 2 like weird songs, and it was like I called it like Cyber Doom, right? Like it's like fucking so like it's like such bullshit, right? But like it's so a thing I found how I was like, oh, like I listen to like so much different shit all the time, and like I was like, I guess this project, because I started a like I guess I was like, all right, like this lockdown, like I'm gonna fucking like make a rock record. I'm just gonna like stick to that and like try to to divert and stuff. But like, is there something like you kind of struggle with if you listen to metal one day and you're like, oh, actually, like I should like put some, I don't know, or like I know maybe I'll put some metal stuff in, but like, or you're like, oh, maybe I can make like a metal record, or like, do you divert it all and then like, yeah.
From all the projects that I did this year, I was pretty strict with myself and just like sticking to the plan.
Yeah,
like,
that's
hopefully
good.
there's gonna be an end goal.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's I think the discipline of just like finishing a track is so hard to maintain.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was the end goal every time I make a track. Like I gotta finish this, even if it's like not the best thing ever. You know, you just gotta finish it, and I don't care if it's like, you know, like close to perfection or whatever. Like there's nothing perfect with lo-fi because you're destroying pretty much the song.
Yeah.
In the end, like in theory. But yeah, it's like I shelved a couple of songs. Those are finished, but you know,
that's really good tip, though. Being strict with yourself, like that's definitely
yeah, not to the point that I burn out and don't hate making music. It's more about, I guess, just sticking to the plan. Like I listened to, like on the way back home, I'm not sure if you've listened to this band called Chamber. Chamber is do you know the Dillinger Escape Plan?
Yeah. Yep. That's sick.
Oh, these like those, they sound like a modern metalcore Dillinger Escape, like metalcore / mathcore.
Yes.
And like they just put out the new album, like, and I was listening to it, and they have like this sick guitar parts where I don't know, they were like muting like the notes, and it sounds sick because like in the mix it's like everything's breaking down, and they were just like muting some of the notes, whatever. And I was like, oh, maybe I could use that on the next song that I like, not lo-fi, but more about like, you know, I've been making trap beats at the moment. Like maybe I could utilize that on my trap beats, you know.
Yeah, that's sick. That's
something different, you know, you can bring. I think I could, I don't know, if I stick to the plan, and I could like just sticking to the plan, and you know, if I stick to the plan, I could freely do anything, and I could pull things in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's more about just like, I definitely listen to like a lot of different stuff while making the music that I'm making, and some of them are like, you know, so left field. Like I accidentally made like not noise, but more like, I don't know. Do you know the band Sanction?
No, that's not. I gotta check it out. Damn it,
Sanction. Sanction is a metalcore, hardcore band from Long Island, I think.
Sick. Okay.
They had Long Island in the U.S. and they put out a couple of EPs and full length last year. And the starting song from it sounds like, you know, like a VHS from from a horror film.
Yeah.
Sounds like warbled men talking.
Yeah.
It's weird. Pretty much. They sound like you put on like a VHS and it sounds like, what is this horror film? Like, you know, like it's like sounding like playing the VHS underwater. That's the sound of it. You know, like something like that. So I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And I accidentally made something like that. So I could, you know, maybe if I make like a metalcore band, I can use that as an intro to have like really dark ambient from the get-go.
Yeah, that's
like, I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think you would ever, I guess, ever do that up, or like, are there any other I guess creative itches that you have, like I suppose like after you've done this project and stuff, is there any other stuff that you like, after this I'm gonna still like try that? Or
yeah, I am planning on doing it. It's more about like pulling different members together as well that listen to the actual same music, because it's not that specific, but it's so underground that not a lot of people know it. It's not like, you know, it's not like Slipknot kind of bands. It's more about like really, I would say, underground.
Yeah,
they're on major record labels, but they're not like, you know, they're not like Korn, or not even like Converge levels of, you know.
Yeah, like do you mean like that kind of cult following sort of stuff? Like
yeah.
Whatever.
A lot of the bands that I've been dropping could be found at Hate 56. So definitely check them out.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude.
There's like, so Sanction sounds like, I would say, Jesus Piece.
Oh, Jesus Piece is sick. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So some of that like chaotic hardcore, a lot of dissonant riffs as well. They sound
would
a darker, not
be like kind of like that, like Trap Them or yeah.
I haven't actually listened to Trap Them, but I've heard of them.
Yeah, I'll send you. We'll have to make lists for each other.
You know, Knock Loose.
Yeah, love their new album. Oh my gosh,
they're really cool. They're on the same label as Sanction. So Knock Loose, Sanction, Year of the Knife, Counterparts. Yeah. They're all at Pure Noise Records. Oh yeah, like a lot of different hardcore sounds. Yeah. So it's like a lot of those projects. Yeah, I wanted to sound like them. I mean, everyone's got to start somewhere, and you know, I've been listening to what they've been listening to as well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun.
No, that's cool. Do you have a rough sort of? It's probably very early because you're still finishing this project, but like I guess like a rough structure of how you would want like an album to go, or like you just kind of I guess wait till it happens.
Like an album for my
of like making like hardcore stuff. Yeah. Like yeah.
I would probably finish these projects that I lined up. Yeah. And then I'll see if like how can I achieve the sound in a really tight budget. Because you know, I have a guitar here. I haven't had the chance to buy an interface yet. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I need to invest on. Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey man, I literally just dropped like I was gonna originally save up for studio time when I started this thing, and because of like obviously Corona kind of fucked it up. So I spent I got a full-time job building like fucking trailers, right? Super random. And anyway, I since left that job because it sucked. But I saved up like $5,000 and I just like dropped it all on recording gear. So if you ever want to do some record some guitar riffs, I have shitloads of SM57s and like drum mics.
I'll definitely hit you up. I need to like have a feel on like before I buy, you know, like I want to have a feel of what I need. Because I learned that lesson on my MIDI keyboard. Because you know, like I was fresh out of year 12. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna make like trap beats. We're gonna make some lo-fi beats. So I was like, all right, let's buy a MIDI keyboard. Turned out like I did not like the workflow from like using like I said, like from FL Studio and all that. So I was like, oh, like the MIDI keyboards has been shelved from 2017 till 2020. So, but now I just use it on a regular basis because I found like used to it. I mean, I don't want to like, oh, I just want to be practical, I guess. Like
Yeah.
like I'll buy, well, for the things that I want to record. So I think, yeah. But if it wasn't for this quarantine, like I would have not used my MIDI keyboard or would have not have made any music. So
really? So you started all this like in quarantine?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was I think around April when my cousin hit me up. It was out of the blue. It was cool. So yeah.
Yeah, that's
so right now my cousin and I are making this like a 7-track mixtape, all produced by me.
Yes.
All the art will probably be made by me, like all the visuals and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you can do stuff on the go at the moment using the iPad. Bruh.
Shit, yeah, man. Yeah. No, 100.
Yeah, like everything on the go, man.
Yeah. No, that's fucking sick. Well, because I was gonna say too, like, do you have a? Yeah, I mean, you don't have to give too much away if you don't want to. Like, it's probably a secret until it's released. But like, I guess what's the, I guess the art kind of, I guess the visual vibe you're going for, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a tough question as
well.
well.
It's, like from the last one. Well, we were making like a lo-fi, like he was rapping on lo-fi beats.
Yeah.
Like trap / lo-fi beats.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I wanted to have like that vintage feel, I guess, on the art as well.
Yeah.
Nothing too serious, I guess. Like nothing like, you know, like I'm not gonna paint for a mixtape, but everything's just like on the fly. Like let's just edit stuff, and if it looks alright, it's alright.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the next one, I guess I'm probably gonna not heavily focus on the art, but more about, you know, just make it really presentable.
Real, yeah, cool.
Yeah, not really like I always give my all to all the art that I make, but not to the point that I'm burnt out. Like, oh shit, I don't have any ideas. So
yeah. That's cool. Would you ever play live? Like, is that a thing for like that kind of? I guess that kind of genre. Like, is it common for people to go out and play, or is it more like you build an online platform? Like, yeah,
a bit of both.
Yeah.
It's a bit of both, man. I listen to a couple of lo-fi artists. They're probably on, you know, like Spotify lo-fi playlists, whatever. Yeah. I'll drop some names here. You know, there's Jinsang from the US.
Yes. Yeah.
There's Tomppbeats. There's Tajima Hal from Japan. I really look up to those.
I'll chuck it on the description.
Yeah. So most of these artists have, you know, full length, like, you know, they could pretty much press on vinyl because they have like, I would say 17 tracks on one album, and its runtime is just like an LP, like 40 minutes.
Oh,
so
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so all instrumental, like all different like samples.
Yes.
Like, great production.
Because some of them running time really... is like the average for like most of that kind of stuff. Like it, I guess.
It spans, man. Like some of them are like, you know, like drop. Sometimes most of them now just drop like a song here and there.
Yeah.
Or like a collab, and sometimes it runs from like 12 minutes, 20.
Yeah.
But the most, I guess, were like 35 to 40. Yeah. But anything beyond that, I guess, would be, you know, could be like a 2-part album or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so I think their runtimes are so different. Some of them just drop singles.
Yeah.
But in terms of playing live, it would be a dream to just like, at the moment, it's a dream because, you know, quarantine.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my gosh.
Well, it would be like probably an achievable dream to just like, you know, play those beats whatever you made and just play them accordingly.
Yeah,
I know this one. Yeah, like there's it's weird because YouTube algorithm just like suddenly hits everyone up. It's a 6-year-old.
It's actually so good. Like, I mean, Spotify is good and whatever, but YouTube, man, they know what's up. Like,
it just hits you like a truck. There's like this. It's a French bar, like bar and music venue, and they brought in like different artists from the world. Like this was from 2014 or 2013. They were playing on a boat, like a small boat. It's so chill, and
that's awesome.
So this artist, his name is Tajima Hal, like Taj Mahal, but he's Japanese, and he.
That's cool.
He's not racist. It's just how his name is.
That's
Tajima
awesome.
Hal.
That's awesome.
He plays like pretty much lo-fi beats using the SP404, like the small. It's a small sampler.
Yes.
So he plays like the full-length songs from that. Puts different effects on the fly because the sampler does that, and it's a chill mix and people enjoy it. I enjoyed it. So I mean, it's not like I'm gonna host parties and just like play lo-fi, but I mean if people are keen to chill out, pretty much I could play music for them,
No, that would be sick. Hell yeah, man. Well, I'm organizing a thing for after. I'll talk to you about it after the podcast. But I'm probably gonna make a little festival thing. But I'll talk to you more about it after the podcast. Don't want to.
Cool, man.
Any spoilers?
Nah.
Yeah, that's sick, man. That'd be so
different scenes, I guess. More of them are like online.
Yeah.
So like most of them are really, really good on YouTube. Like they rack up like millions.
Yeah.
Just because like that's how I got into it as well. Because really chill beats. I enjoy them.
Yeah. Well, because I was just similar. Like I literally just like search up like. This is so generic of me, but like lo-fi hip hop beats, and it's like, but there's so much, and like there's some stuff I'm not a fan of, but I'll dig through, and then like when you find like that 1 hour long mix, it's like, this is sick.
Yeah, that's how I discovered Jinsang. There's this album called Solitude, and it's like you'll probably see it. It's like a picture of the wave, like not Hokusai, but just a picture of a wave, and it was like. I don't know, like around the 10 millions of views. So
that's a dream.
Just I mean, in the end, like as much as I want to, like have a not a big following, but people enjoy the music. It's more about just like I reckon he enjoys the music, like making music so much because he just drops like 15-track albums, like instrumental albums. Like,
that's awesome.
That's cool. Like like the volume as well. Like the body of work is just really respectable.
Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, damn, I'll definitely have to check that out. That's fucking very awesome.
Yeah, we'll recoup after and
I'll plug it in the description, y'all. Yeah. That's sick. This is a little off topic. I ask everyone this. Is a little bit off topic. But do you have any ghost stories? And do you believe in the supernatural?
Ghost stories.
Yeah.
I used to believe. Well, I was growing up in the Philippines, there's like a lot of different like local legends,
Oh, I was really talking to a mate about this. Is one of them when they have like this snake that like comes down a chimney and like takes the blood out of like kids? No, that's like I don't heard that one.
This is the first time I heard of it.
Oh man,
this is the first time I've heard about it.
Oh really? Oh, I thought it was called. It was like some. What other stuff is there? Because he was telling me there's like heaps of cool ones. Well, not cool,
there's
intense ones.
There's half human, half horse, like a centaur.
Oh, sick.
It was it's a bit of a legend that I don't know, just walks around with a big ass axe.
That's cool.
We've got he's a giant who lives at the top of trees, and he smokes big cigars.
Oh,
and he just watches you.
That's
I think those ones.
like a drop bear kind of vibe?
No, like not giant. Like he's like a really hairy giant who just smoking cigars.
Yeah, what a legend. That's sick ass.
We've got like dismembered, like half of the body is cut.
Yeah.
Half the body is dismembered and they have wings.
Yeah. Oh, sick.
I think one of those. We got demon babies.
Demon babies, fuck yeah.
Demon babies who just like pop out of the womb.
Oh, that's awesome. That's the most metal shit. That is that's awesome.
It looks like a Cannibal Corpse album.
Oh, fuck yeah. That'd be a sick album cover, actually. Man, a devil baby.
What else? We've got a couple.
Man, I wish Australia had this.
Nah, I think like the Filipinos are really a fan of the white lady. It's more about like a ghost that appears at night, whatever, dressed like glowing white with like the hair on the front.
Yeah.
Those are things.
Yes.
In terms of me believing them, not really.
You don't believe in the half horse?
Biologically impossible.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's I used to believe in ghosts. But in the end it's just in your head. So but I'm like, I really enjoy reading just a bit of horror, I guess.
Yeah.
And pretty much how words evoke horror. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
do you think that's what drew you to metal, or was that more of a rhythmically you got kind of
metal, like
I suppose.
Yeah. I got inclined into listening to metal because of Slipknot.
Yeah.
So I think Duality was playing on MTV.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. Like, what is this? And then it got like, it's hard. Like, Duality is still hard. It goes hard.
That's like, there's a lot of screaming, like, because they were my second band. I originally got into Bring Me the Horizon Sempiternal album, and then got heavier and heavier. But it took me a while, like, because it's one of those things, like, I don't know if it's the same for you, but like, I was like, I didn't like screaming, like I couldn't like get into it, but then I kind of forced myself, and then I like eventually like clicked, and it was okay. And I was like, my god, this is sick.
It's now I kind of got screaming like from the get go for
that's cool.
I don't know what reason.
Yeah,
I just did not like, like you're 30. Well, I was 9 years old, I guess, or 10.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't want to be like the normie kid who listens to pop and all that. So like everything from like childhood was like in a form of counterculture. Yeah. I was like listening to everything like anti-mainstream.
Yeah.
All right, let me just blow my nose.
Dude, don't worry. Oh yeah, man. Hay fever's a bitch.
Man. Thanks, man. But yeah, it's more about the counterculture. So I was listening to Slipknot, and then it got heavier from there. Like, Cannibal Corpse was on one of the like, shock bands that I kind of listened to.
Yeah.
And then around 2010, 2011. That's when, you know, like post-hardcore metalcore scene was like really big.
I mean, yeah.
I got like, as weird as it sounds, like I still enjoy my, you know, like listening to like Pierce the Veil.
Yeah.
Like not really on a regular basis. Like once I listen to them, like I know like, oh, these are really good songs and all that.
Yeah.
So Pierce the Veil, that was a big part of the school that I went to. Like a lot of people were listening to it.
Oh, that's cool.
A lot of people were listening to like Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, they're cool.
Sleeping with Sirens, you know.
Yeah.
Post-hardcore, metalcore.
Yeah.
We Came as Romans.
Yeah.
Bring Me the Horizon as well. Like.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that's when things got freakier because, you know, deathcore was also on the rise. You know.
Yeah.
You still have that that first Bring Me the Horizon record, which was straight deathcore.
Yeah, that was a little bit before Suicide Silence.
It was before Suicide Season. Like what?
Suicide Season. Yeah, different band. Suicide Season. That's the one. Glad you picked up on that actually, because
that's okay, man.
Yeah, that's it.
It was the first album with Jonah Weinhofen, who is the former. Well, he used to be in I Killed the Prom Queen.
Yeah, they're super.
So yeah, they're really sick. Like those kind of metalcore.
Mm.
So we were listening to like a lot of Bring Me the Horizon as well.
Yeah,
you know, like Tumblr bands, I would say.
Yeah.
That's what. And then I was discovering like a lot of Australian music as well. Like Atlas just dropped 2012 from Parkway Drive.
Was that around the time when Zyart were becoming a thing, or was that?
Oh yeah,
later?
they I think they dropped their first album, the one with the horned Jesus.
Yeah,
I can't remember the album name, but it was green. Like the green album cover.
Yeah.
And then North Lane, I was listening to Discoveries by North Lane.
Yeah. North Lane's a long way. Oof, man.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Still a fan.
Yeah.
They're really sick.
Yeah.
I really respect them. They're probably one of my most seen bands. Like I just saw them like a lot of times, and
that's awesome.
Every time they just kill it, you know.
Yeah, the production level, like, it's like so impressive. Like, oh man, like, it's but yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, we also rode the wave on melodic hardcore.
Yeah,
like old Being As an Ocean. Being As an Ocean. We were big fans of Capsize.
Yeah.
They're like a disbanded band now.
Yeah.
Big fans of Counterparts until now.
Yeah.
So mostly like, and then when I came here, I discovered like a lot of screamo bands, like I would say like old albums from Pianos Become the Thief, Touche Amore.
Yeah,
they're
great. Yeah, Touche Amore.
They're great. Yeah, they just dropped an album, which is great.
Yeah. I haven't listened to it yet. I gotta check it out.
But yeah, like really obscure. It got really obscure from there, like, you know.
Yeah. I was gonna say, did you have someone that like, I guess, got you into that, or did you just kind of discover it on your own? Like what, I guess when you started going deeper into, because metal, what a rabbit hole that is. Like there's so much.
I'm still digging that rabbit hole for metal.
Yeah,
metalcore. From like when I was in the Philippines, there were like a couple of us who were like listening to the same stuff, and we just dig deeper and deeper. Like I got one friend who's, well, he doesn't listen to them now, but he got really into the Black Dahlia Murder.
Yeah.
You know,
what a band.
Like that death metal bands.
Yeah.
some of them were really big fans of August Burns Red, like metalcore.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about
also like
Isolation? Were there people? Yeah, was there like people into?
Oh no, this was not Isolation. These were people in the Philippines that I was friends with.
Yeah.
But when I came here, like, I had to convert one of my friends.
Yeah. Dude, I know exactly what you mean. No, oh yeah, dude.
It's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard to like, but it was a fun experience to just like dig through music, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like I was downloading MP3s here and there, left, right. You know, whatever band.
He's LimeWire.
I had LimeWire.
Yeah.
But yeah, it got obscure as well. I went to like the obscure route of like SoulSeek.
Yeah.
SoulSeek is just like pretty much like a open, like torrenting.
Yeah.
Peer-to-peer connections, file sharing.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yes.
And then I got into Blogspot downloads as well. Mm-hmm. Blogspot is just like another social media website.
Yeah.
But they post like, some of them just post like links of bands. Like that's how I got into like some of the hardcore, some of the screamo bands.
That's cool. Yeah. So would you follow someone, say like you have an Instagram account and you're like, oh, this guy's got a really good, like a bunch of really sick like links or whatever, so I'm going to follow him and then follow what
yeah. My music discovery was weird because I did not use Instagram. Like I've been using Instagram for like last 2 years or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I was not heavily into it.
Yeah.
Well, mostly on Tumblr, I guess.
Oh yeah.
You know, in Tumblr, like they were making like GIFs and they were making like art with lyrics with the band with a band image on it.
Yeah.
And so through there, I really got into like the emo stuff. You know, like Basement, Citizen, Tiger's Jaw, Balance and Composure.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Yeah. I just completed their discography. All their LPs. So
that's awesome.
At the moment, I've been playing catch up with vinyl. Which is fun. Which is a fun hobby.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, vinyl's a dangerous game. It's like, have you done Record Store? They have this thing in Melbourne, Record Store Day. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah, I wanted to try it. I haven't, because I just started collecting vinyl through quarantine, like during quarantine.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to next year's, if they're gonna have like just a single day to drop, because this year's format was so different because they drop on different dates, like different months as well. Yeah,
dude, get ready to lose all your money because I think I spent last Record Store Day. I spent like $400 on, and that like at the time I didn't have a job at the time. Like that was just like all the money I had. I was like, can't it's all so sick. I couldn't buy it all. Like it's dangerous. If I had more money in my account, I would have like fucking spent money.
That's it. I really like, to all the viewers out there, I really strongly suggest budgeting for vinyl.
Yes.
So every time you get,
I learned that the hard way.
Because I felt the urge.
Yeah.
Like you feel like, you know, you gotta own it. You gotta own some titles. And if you get deeper without money, that's really hard.
Yeah.
But it's a fun collection. It's a fun hobby.
Yeah.
And
especially with the whole, like, when you get like an artist's like whole discography. Like I got, I don't know if you know Deathheaven.
Oh yeah, I love Deathheaven.
Yeah.
I can't show it at the moment, but I can show it after the podcast. But I went to their show last year.
Did you see them live? Oh my god, it's so sick.
At the corner.
Oh fuck.
At the corner.
I remember they were advertising that stuff. For some reason, I like didn't fucking buy tickets. I don't know why. Oh, that'd have been so sick. Oh, dude, my favorite band.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You ever saying about their vinyl? Sorry.
Yeah. I got their whole collection. I'm missing Sunbather, but I got like all their EPs and albums and stuff, and it's such a sick feeling like when you have like the whole band's
definitely.
They're bringing out like a live thing.
So you've got
as well.
Yeah, you've got the Roads to Judah.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
You got the demo.
Yeah, I got the demo one, and they have I have like New Bermuda, but it's like a special edition one. So it's like they're painting, but it's like this weird like 3D thing. It's kind of a bunch of cool like artwork and stuff. But yeah, man, I love that band.
Yeah, I really enjoyed all their albums. I have a couple of friends overseas in the Philippines as well who are really big Deaf Heaven fans.
Oh, sick! Nice.
And
awesome.
And we just bond. We just talk about whatever.
Yeah, it's so fun. Like when you like it, when you nerd out to a band with someone, it's the best. I love that.
Yeah. Like the biggest flex is you can tell them like, oh, I got their whole discography on vinyl.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, fuck yeah, it totally is. That's awesome.
But yeah, I played catch up on most of the albums I've been listening to. Some of them are like I've been listening to when I was like 14, 15. They're still really good albums. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I also have lo-fi as well. Like, is that a big thing for you, like in high school, or like did you kind of get into that after?
Not really. I really got into it probably the last 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Just listening to them, not really making it.
Yeah.
But I've always had like the inclination to make music.
Yeah.
It's just that it's hard to just be a one-man band, I guess, because
I know how you feel.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's so much better if you collaborate with someone. But when I found out, like, you can make the whole track by yourself, or you can find like a tutorial where it's just one person. I mean, worst comes to worst, I would really enjoy it, and not being able to collaborate and all that. But it would be great to collaborate with someone.
Yeah.
As well, if the opportunity permits, and we have the same vision and all that. So
yeah,
I mean,
100%. No, definitely.
I mean, you wouldn't play black metal with someone who just doesn't play black metal. So
yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
No,
so,
definitely.
Kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely something to like. I don't know, because I'm in a couple of bands as well, but I'm obviously also doing this, and like, it's weird. It's kind of freeing that, like, when I was in the other bands and stuff like that, maybe like, because everyone, obviously, like, when you're joined together, everyone kind of has like different opinions on stuff and whatever, and it's kind of cool. Like, if I'm like, all right, I can't express this here, but like I can add this to my own stuff on my own. And I guess like it's really cool. And I suppose you're probably the same too. Like, I mean, you know how to play guitar, and like you can program stuff on the computer. Like that's super cool, because like I was very lucky in high school as well. Like I guess I kind of picked up guitar and drums. So yeah, it feels pretty good being able to like do a Dave Grohl and do everything. It's definitely cool.
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoy just like the workflow, I guess. It's I don't have to clash with different heads as well. Like everything's just on my own, which is also like a curse, I guess, because you are your own biggest critic at most times. So
there's definitely problems. I get what you mean. Yeah.
And sometimes whatever music, whatever creative creative endeavor you're doing, you got to you gotta cut yourself some slack, I guess, and just like go with the flow. I mean, most of these things would be so much harder for I'm just using my keyboard or my mouse. Like, what if I'm like literally playing riffs?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't want to mess up and all that. So I mean, it's a different workflow, I guess. And yeah, because I was seeing like a couple of friends overseas who were making a pop punk band. Like I'm still listening to a bit of pop punk.
Yeah,
and they were trying to make it, and it's like I saw their struggles as well. Like they haven't written like a couple songs yet, or like they just have like 2 songs under their belt, and just a frustration, I guess. Just push ideas out, and I was just waiting for them to drop something. And it took its toll, I guess, because I was thinking of doing the art for them, but yeah, that's why I took matters in my own hands, made my own whatever project, and like push all those ideas out, and if it comes out good,
no, 100%. Like it's weird. Like I guess it's very like being in a band's like it's strange. It's like definitely a different mindset. It's like in a band you're like, I mean, especially as a drummer and a bass player, like all right, like I guess you're thinking a lot more because everyone's obviously got the different ideas and stuff, and it's great because you'll come up with something and then someone else will like do their own thing over, and you're like, oh shit, like I didn't even think of that. That's really fucking awesome. But then like it's weird because then like maybe if your goal for the song from the 2 people is like different, it's kind of like fuck, like you can't, like it's hard to kind of find that even ground. So it's great. I mean but then there's the other side too. It's like when you're making your own stuff, you're like, oh, this sucks, but then you're like, oh, actually this is really good, and you're like in those 2 mindsets. Like it's cool in a band that you have someone to be like, dude, like this is really cool, or like, hey, actually, having someone else to be like, oh, actually that's not that good,
Definitely, man. I could definitely attest to that. But the funniest thing is when I dropped that instrumental EP earlier, a couple of months ago, most of the people that were like liking and appreciating it were like family members who I did not expect to listen to lo-fi.
Oh, really? Like, oh, sick. That's awesome. That's awesome.
They were like my great uncles and great aunts and my uncles and aunts. So I was like, oh, well, I was targeting for a certain audience, but maybe
that's
sick. Facebook, but
because I guess like lo-fi is, I mean, I don't know. I guess in some ways it probably is hard to listen to, but it seems like a pretty, like, I guess rhythmic, like kind of easy to get into. I mean, I guess compared to metal.
Definitely.
So that's cool. That's really awesome. That like, and you probably turn them on to like a new style of music too. Like, I mean,
hopefully. I mean, I really, there's no fame attached to lo-fi, which is also great. Like you won't get like Dave Grohl status on lo-fi. There's not even there's not even like such thing, and which is also great because you're just in it for whatever music that you're creating. I think that's one of the good things that I found. It's not like, well, I dabble a bit on, like trap, like hip hop, the like Denzel Curry type sounds, or 21 Savage type sounds, like Metro Boomin production. Those are pretty competitive, and like you got to stand out for some reason, and there's a certain level. But on lo-fi, it's not really being lazy, but more about there's a lot of whatever. There's a lot of creative ideas that just float around, and whatever you want, there's probably someone who made it. And, it's cool.
I mean, it's cool because that's really cool too. Because it's like you're not making it. It's not like you're trying, and not to say like being different's not good. Being different's very good, but it's cool. Like it's cool. It's like that in the fact that it's like, well, you're making it for. You're not trying to be like make the new thing. You're just trying to like make something that you would listen to, like whether someone's done it before or not. Like, and that's also a really cool concept too. Like, I think it's like a thing too. Like people go like, go out and be like, oh, I'm gonna make something that no one's ever heard, or like lyrics that no one's ever done.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's kind of like a bad way to go, because I mean, you know, maybe your own style is different to everyone else's, but like that's really cool. Like that, it's like, no, you're just making music for yourself.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah, way to go.
like a good analogy would be on tattoos. You know, you don't. I mean, a lot of people want like, oh, I want to have like the most unique tattoo that only I have.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool.
That ain't gonna happen, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just referencing to like one of like the Vice documentaries, because they were, you know, there's a traditional style tattoo, you know, like thick lines, solid colors.
Yeah, it's like scorpions and like that kind of.
Yeah, like a lot of like flowers or whatever, skulls.
Yeah.
Like classic designs, and they were like the reason why these designs stand out are still classics, because because they stood the test of time. Like the same format, like everyone respects the same format. Yeah, and sometimes I apply it on different things, like mostly in music. Like I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna make like the next breakthrough lo-fi track. Not ever. Yeah, not ever.
Just have like a metal breakdown in it, man.
Oh yeah, I want to segue as well into that, because I just heard. Do you know Ghostmane? Ghostmane is an Atlanta. I think he's from Atlanta, Florida. Yeah. He's a Florida rapper. Yeah. He was in a death metal band. He was also in a punk band from memory. Yeah. And Ghostmane fuses like metal and hip hop. Oh, so there's this new, like, he just dropped a new album like probably last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And he got his like machine gun type flow, like he just raps like really quick, and then there's like, oh wow, there's like a legit metal breakdown by the end of the song, like legit, like literally a breakdown. I was like, he's pushing it, and he's really good. Yeah, he's good at what he's doing. So
that's sick. No, there's definitely something to that. I get what you mean. Like, have you heard of the band Mongol Horde? You heard of those guys?
No.
They're like I'll send them to you. They're like it was like a metal project, but they used to be a folk band, and then I guess similar to what happened with what's that Aussie band? They brought out like 7 different albums in like 1 year.
In Gizzard?
Yeah, that's it. I guess it was kind of similar to them, where it's like. Yeah. Like, man, they really like did some big stuff to like metal, but like they're originally like an indie kind of thing. So like there's definitely something to like going into a genre, like kind of what you're doing too, like going into a genre that you don't, I guess, if you're used to listening or I don't know, like playing that kind of style of music. Like there's definitely something to going into a different genre and like
definitely. Just like bringing in different influences is cool. But you don't always have to reinvent the wheel to make music, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it would be great, but well, if it's like for a bedroom producer, it's probably not my not the goal. Yeah. Unless I'm like aiming for like pop songs, I guess. Like pop structure and pop sounds. So
well, I mean, it feels like you've kind of nailed it on the head of like why you're doing it, because I mean, it seems like, well, I guess music's what I think it's supposed to be anyway, is like expressing yourself, and like whether you feel the same way as like some other person, like I don't think that really matters. And I think you're like you're that whole like lo-fi kind of idea, which I didn't realize. I didn't realize that was kind of a thing. But like that's why you're making music. Like that's really cool. Like way of thinking about it.
yeah. But at the end of the day, like, I pretty much just want, if someone's gonna listen to it, you know, I just want them to just like vibe with it, you know.
Yeah.
It's like nod your head to it, or
Yeah.
you know, relax to it, you know, study to it.
yeah, 100%.
So whatever, like it's there if you want it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like I don't care. It's more about, you know, do whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah. Would you listen to your own music in a like in the same way you would, I guess, like listen to like other artists, or like, I do that sometimes. Where, like, I'll listen to like my own band, like not because like I like, not in an ego way, but just because like this is sick music. Like, I just enjoy it.
I've done it, and it's more about, because let me rephrase it. I've done it just because if I'm gonna play it live, I want to feel, you know, like let's try and play it on big speakers, or like a really loud sound, like a loudspeaker, whatever. And yeah, like if I vibe with it, if I nailed the mix as well, or if I feel it, I feel like, oh yeah, this is really cool, like really chill, I think I'm happy with it. So I get, this is weird, I get my parents to be my litmus test as well. I just play it on the background, whatever. Like, let's say I play different songs, and I like suddenly play it, and if they like it, I'm like, cool. Like, and if I, you know, because they listen to a different style of music than I do, so.
Well, that's great you're doing that too, because it's like, it's kind of like, I mean, you have your own band there, because everyone's like, oh, this is a good idea, or oh, that's not a good idea. So it's kind of cool, like, you know, you're doing that.
I've got also my 2 younger sisters who are also like good litmus tests on whatever music I'm making. Because the one younger to me, she listens like she'll listen not regularly, but she is an avid listener to lo-fi hip hop. You know, like whatever you did, like lo-fi hip hop, like search on YouTube. She does that, and you know, if she vibes with it, like cool. If she doesn't, cool.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. No, that's cool.
So yeah, just we like, they know what a lo-fi track is, and if they vibe with it, you know. I mean, sometimes they tell me like, oh, it sounds really loud, or like, you know, like in terms like really compressed or whatever. It's too loud. Like, well, they pretty much tell me.
Yeah, that's really cool too. Like, because I sometimes do that too. Like, if I have a mix, like, I'll send it to someone who doesn't really, or like, you know, doesn't like produce or mix whatever, and be like, hey, what do you think of this? Because I guess they kind of have like a bit more of a like, oh, they won't be like, oh, you need more compression on that. They'll just be like, this is too loud, or like, this sounds weird, and you can be like, all right, like that seems like, you know, like something that definitely needs to be fixed.
That's right. But yeah, as I think you also produce, so yeah, like definitely like producing your own music or music for someone else is, you know, you gotta develop that patience as well, because sometimes like everything sounds right, like don't tell me anything.
I get you, man. I know what you mean.
So
like, you guys will never understand me. This is
So sometimes I felt that with my cousin who I collaborate with. Like he raps over it like, oh, this thing is a bit, you know, like, can you up the BPM or something? And sometimes like, wow, like, well, like I wanted it to sound like this. But sometimes, you know, you accommodate, and you know, because it's a collaborative project, and you just got to have that patience. So I mean, I respect like those who critique my work, because I pick who critiques my work as well. So
yeah,
I respect him. I respect him for telling me whatever he needs, because I mean, you know, it's a give or take as well. So yeah, it's cool.
That's cool. You're smart about it too. Like being like knowing who to like, I don't know, if someone says like something you don't agree with, being able to be like, oh, I see what you mean, or like being like sticking with it. Like it's definitely something to that. Like learning like the fine medium, which I get, like, which is cool. You have. Yeah, like I wouldn't go like, I don't know, some of my music. If I made a metal album, I wouldn't go like, I don't know, show my mom, be like, hey, so what do you not like about it? Is this good?
Yeah, definitely. You gotta pick. Yeah, you gotta pick those who critique your work. I think. I also learned that through like the research I've done in terms of like uni work. Like you gotta pick whoever looks at your work, because you know it's pretty crucial.
Yeah.
All right, let me just sneeze again, man. Oh, let me just.
Oh, dude, don't worry. Dude, don't even worry about it.
Third time.
Woo-hoo.
Man.
I don't know how it's weird, like, because I mean, I'm obviously from the country. Like, I don't get, it's weird. I don't really get hay fever. I get headaches sometimes. But like,
Sunbury has a really high pollen count.
Oh, dude. Oh, shit.
So,
come to Macedon. Yeah.
Nice. Heaps colder there, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just like make sure. Yeah, definitely. Well, I was going to ask too, like, what was Silesian like for you, as far as like, obviously like the metal stuff, because obviously no many people were into metal, but also like, did you have lessons, or like, did Silesian help you at all in, I guess, being creative, or did they like really not? Like, did you kind of feel like a little bit like secluded in that?
I did vet music when I first came here, but I dropped out of it like halfway because I had to go back to year 10.
Yeah.
I did not learn a thing at vet music.
Yeah. Oh, dude, say it's like a fucking cover band.
I did not learn anything at all.
Yeah.
In terms of being creative, I guess, not really. It's more about, I think everything was self-driven. Well, especially during this quarantine, yes. I think it was like most of the creative stuff that I did was out of quarantine.
Yeah.
But in terms of like making connections through music, I would say there were just like a couple.
Yeah.
That like literally just two people who vibe with the same music as I did.
Yeah.
And yeah, it feels weird. Felt like pretty much like an outcast, because I know everyone was listening to, I don't know, the new Childish Gambino album. Like the new pop record, or, you know. So I couldn't vibe with them.
Yeah.
I had one friend who was like listening to like the dad metal, like Iron Maiden and all of that, which was cool. Yeah. But I was more into like the newer stuff, so like the newer bands. So yeah, it was so that was not really helpful to create anything.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I was definitely like that too. I was like, I do not want to show these people what I'm listening.
Yeah. So, and I mean, this lo-fi thing, I don't know, out of the blue, I guess.
Yeah.
Literally out of the blue.
No, like that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's really cool. Cause like I just said, like after, like I have lots of creative itches as well. Like after this, like I really want to make like a cyberpunk record. That would be sick. Like some sort of like real like heavy like industrial electronic goodness.
Yeah, something weird will be cool.
Yeah. Like there's so much like, oh man, so much shit. But it's weird. Did you have? Most of my music class was into like indie rock, which was great because I found a lot of indie rock through there. But yeah, I don't know. Like what would, even like the people who like the arty people, like what would they into, like your music class and stuff? Like what was the
actually, like it just occurred to me again. Like I had one person in that vet music class, like two people. like what, like they were really into Memphis
Memphis May Fire. Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were really into it, and like some of them were really into like the story so far, you know, like pop punk.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, it was a different like we all had different tastes, and just I don't know. We were vibing on some things.
Yeah.
But some of them were like, you know, like the basic pop punk, like Blink 182, like some of the friends that I had were,
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But not as heavily as I was, you know.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
So like high school was so different. Like high school here, but in my high school in the Philippines, man, like we were like I was starting band, like we were starting bands there, you know, like local bands, like cover bands. So
that's awesome. You were all into like, because I think about it sometimes, like, man, like imagine if like all the stuff I was into was like the shit to listen to, like actually that's really cool that like there was much of a like thing like that. Awesome.
Definitely. There was a scene in the town that I was in, like a local scene, who were like, Christ, like they were making like Sleeping with Sirens type music. So they were like making you know, easycore, like 4 Years Strong type of things.
Yeah.
So that was it was like the local scene was great, but unfortunately I had to leave and settle down here.
Yeah.
So, but in a good sense, like I found like the metalcore scene, like the bands here at Melbourne are pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like a lot, I really enjoyed now I really enjoy like, you know, Alpha Wolf.
Wolf is sick. That is matter. I did Northlane and stuff. They're all really cool.
Northlane, they're from Sydney. Void of Vision, they're from Melbourne.
Oh, I have to check it out.
They're signed to Unified. They're pretty cool.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Like you had like a scene and stuff, because I mean, I don't know. That's obviously that was at least there was nothing, but I didn't even realize. Like, I mean, I knew like, oh, Melbourne's got a big scene, or whatever. But like, I don't know. Like, it wasn't until after high school I was like, oh fuck, like there's actually so many punk bands, like so many like there's like such a thing for this in Melbourne, and like. I don't know. I guess I found my people.
Melbourne loves their bands. So really fortunate that we moved here. I was not aware of how rich the scene was.
Yeah. No, same, man.
Yeah. I mean, well, Macedon isn't that far from Sunbury, but you know, like if you live like near or on regional Victoria, you know, like it's pretty far, and you don't know like the latest gigs, like the latest bands popping up and all that. So
I literally like most of my stuff I found I think like Hate 56, Death Wish, like it was all online. It was only like me and like one other guy who's in my band Laser Lips. Like we were the only ones, and I was like, well, like I you know, especially that extreme stuff, like it was weird. I was like, oh, just like that one like weird kid listens to all this like weird shit. Like I don't know, but it was it's very weird.
I mean, not to sound edgy, but you know, I was like year 11. I was listening to like Full of Hell on my headphone. I'm like, bruh, I'm the only one who's listening to Full of Hell in this school. But yeah,
dude, I was the same with Nails. I think in year 12, and Death Heaven as well. I was like,
Unsilent Death was popping up. I think just popped up. So when I came to Salesian around 2014, so it was weird like discovery of music, like discovering like obscure bands, but it's still fun. I still get really high on, you know, like finding like weird stuff online.
Yeah.
Like weird.
I remember at Salesian, you were like, I think when we had do you remember the McKillop thing? We had to make that band. And I think it was when I first met you, and because you were a captain or something like that.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And there was that one we had like that sort of high school band thing where they had like a bunch of people. And there was that one person, we all had to play our rock music. There was that one person who was like, I want to listen, like, let's play something soft. And we would play like, what did we end up playing? It was like, Coldplay, yeah. Oh, I played.
Yeah, we were playing Coldplay. I was like thinking of like we were practicing a lot of Blink-182 because one of the guys that I was with was playing. Like he had a proper setup, so I was like, oh, maybe you know this band, maybe you know this and this. So yeah, it was cool, but yeah.
Oh, good times.
So it was fun.
Because I remember when you said you're like, oh yeah, like when we were both talking about like that one man black metal project thing. And I was like, wait, what like you know what black metal is? I was like,
yeah. I mean, I did not go down the whole black metal route. I know some people who did, and you know, props to them. Like, you know, listening to like a lot of Burzum and Mayhem.
Did you watch that movie?
I haven't.
Chaos. Oh, dude.
I haven't, but I've heard it was favorable.
Yeah,
it was weird.
It's intense. What were we going to say before I cut you off? For like black metal. And stuff?
Oh no, I can't remember anyway.
But yeah, man, that shit. Yeah, very good movie. Definitely recommend. But yeah, no, that's cool. Like in New People and stuff. Like, it was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird like that.
Yeah, I mean, I did not know what to expect. But yeah, like I had to convert some people.
Yeah.
And they're still riding that train.
Yeah.
Still wearing that same windbreaker.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because it's what do you think of I was having this conversation with someone else actually the other day where we were talking about like I guess like mainstream music and stuff like that, and it seems like it used to kind of all sound like the same, but now like pop music and stuff like is doing, I mean, from, you know, I listen to a little bit of pop music, but like obviously like, it's not like my main thing, but like listening to it from the outside, like there's a lot of artists that I'm like, I really dig that I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like you're famous. Like it just doesn't seem like it's cool how it seems to be how like a lot of people who I wouldn't of the mainstream media seems to listen to a lot of different shit, especially with rap and stuff as well. Like, was that like a thing? Like I don't know. Like was that when I guess you were a teenager and stuff? Was a lot of stuff like I guess in the mainstream stuff like everything kind of sounded the same? And yeah, was it like that? Yeah.
Well, I was growing up. I think original Filipino music was not really in a decline, but it wasn't. It wasn't popping as it is now, to say at least.
Yeah.
Like right now, like a different, like the mainstream is so different from what it was.
Yeah.
So I had to look international as well, because I think they were growing like a really good scene overseas.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's they sounded pretty much the same, and they were glorifying like the 90s bands a lot instead of like making like putting newer bands in the forefront. They were just like glorifying like older bands.
Yeah.
But that's why I kind of got into, like Filipino bands who were doing their own thing, not really following the trend. Like so some of the stuff that I listened to were like a lot of them were international bands, and that's why I really got into like the music taste that I am in now. But
that's interesting you say that too, like especially with like the mainstream stuff, because I definitely found that and it's different now, and I guess I know we were talking about Code Orange before, like they're definitely a thing for that, but like it seemed like a lot of even like the big metal bands and stuff, like there wasn't those. I mean, look, there's so much good metal out there, but like the huge gateway metal bands, that like it just seemed like there was like it was just a lot of the same kind of stuff. Like, I mean, I love Metallica. God damn, they're so sick. But like, it just seemed like a lot of bands like that, and it just would have been, which I guess Code Orange now, like, I've kind of paved a bit of a way for that. But like, it would have been cooler to see weirder stuff, really out there, you know?
I think, I'm not sure. Like, I hope someone doesn't quote me on this. But you know, sometimes I feel like, in a good way, like underground bands stay underground. But some of them, like Code Orange, like break from the grain, like go against the grain and just like do their own thing, get recognized. They got signed to Roadrunner, which was a really big step for them. So I think that kind of pushed, like, you know, like push the agenda of like, oh, this is like the new stuff now.
This is real now, motherfucker.
It was definitely a weird. This is a weird timeline because, you know, Code Orange kids like 2013, they were like from the underground for the underground. Now they're from the underground for everyone now. So which is cool. Because do you know Kevin Lyman from the Warp Tour? Like, he hosted like all the Warp Tours and advanced Warp Tours in the US.
Oh,
like,
sick. No.
So Kevin Lyman, I think I'm not sure if he owns the franchise or whatever. But he was like complaining about you know, like underground bands like Balance and Composure, like La Dispute, who were not accepting offers to do Warped Tour because they don't want to be like a Warped Tour band, or they don't want to be like exposed to like a bigger audience. Like, I love all those bands. All those bands. This was just from the perspective of like the owner of Warped Tour. But he was like, oh, like these bands did not, you know, got into like a bigger audience because they were really in just for the underground. Like, they just really enjoy being, you know, playing 300 cap shows or whatever. It's still respectable, but you know,
it's interesting too, because like I can sort of see both sides. Like,
So it's good to be mainstream. It's good to be underground, but I think at the moment we should allow like crossing over. Like, you know, but I think it's hard for something mainstream to go underground again. But
no, definitely.
I know one artist I listened to. He was part of Odd Future. His name is Earl Sweatshirt. So Earl Sweatshirt is I look up to him. He makes really good, pretty good hip hop, and he was like popping off like mainstream stuff, but on this new project he made, he was using like really abstract beats, you know, underground stuff, and he's trying to obscure himself from the mainstream and just like, you know, come back to the underground to just feel like, you know, he has creative freedom and all that. So like different like pop music and, you know, rap or whatever, those are different, but in terms of like commercial success, some people would like to be whichever, like the grass is greener, wherever the grass is greener, they'll just want to go there. So
yeah. That's interesting. I wonder what got him pressured to to want to be like, okay, like I can't make what I want to make now.
Yeah,
like, I wonder who if it was a label thing or like, yeah,
probably a label thing.
Yeah.
he's been releasing his music independently now. Like, so I think more about like the politics of like music, I guess, like which drove him back as much as he wants to be on the underground. In terms of sound, in terms of creativity, he doesn't want to be like, pressured and all that. So respect to him, respect to everyone who would just want to do their own thing.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's so weird. Like, I wonder. I was having a similar conversation with my mates who's into he's really into like K-pop and stuff, but he was into metal as well. We were talking the other day about how like why a lot of artists who like obviously like make it big, they seem to like I mean, I'm gonna use I'll use I don't know if you know Royal Blood. I guess they weren't technically always underground, but when they were smaller, they were obviously. Have you heard that band Royal Blood? They're like a two-piece.
I've heard of them, but I've never listened to them.
Yeah, or maybe I guess we could use Bring Me the Horizon as well. Like, and obviously like that. I haven't heard of their new stuff. I've heard it's really fucking good, but it's weird like how they've seemed to have gotten and a lot. I've definitely like, I don't know. I guess is it like what's the word? Broadcast? No, I don't know. I forgot what the word is. Looking for it. Anyway, I guess just like, like I guess a few bands are like this, but it seems like anyway, like looking for it from the outside, but like it seems like a lot of bands who have like their own sound or whatever, they'll get really big. They'll want to try and kind of go to that pop thing. But then when they do go there, like no one, even like this big band fan base, like no one listens to it anymore. I mean, I guess like Linkin Park is a bit of a example as well. I don't know the reasons for them doing like these different stuff. But it's like I wonder if they got pressured by by labels and stuff to do these certain sounds and stuff. But it's weird too because it's like it doesn't even seem like it's a profitable option because like who remembers Linkin Park's latest album? Like no one does. Like everyone's like Hybrid Theory was the shit thing. And like I guess it's like one example, but it's weird how it's like, and I get obviously evolving your sound and stuff like that. But even like a big artist, like it doesn't seem very often, which is cool that one artist you mentioned did that. But it's weird. It doesn't seem very often how like they try and go back to like, I'm gonna do this. No one listens to it, like, but I'm feeling this at the moment. Like it's weird how people are weirdly scared to go back to that, but they've got all this success, and it's like I don't know. It's weird.
It's more about I reckon. Like, well, this is just my opinion.
Yeah,
I think artists really enjoy that creative freedom, but when there's like the business aspect to it, I think that's when things go south for them. You're making a record for for a certain fan base, and it's not like when you're hungry to get your name out there, you just do like I'm doing my own thing, we're doing our own thing. Please like respect whatever we're doing. So it's they're like really, I don't know. I would never know. Well, who knows?
So you're there, No, definitely. Well, it's interesting you say that too, because that does make sense too. Like, because I don't know if you've seen Billy Corgan. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast. He was talking about how. Do you listen? He was an Smashing Pumpkins fan.
I've listened to that. He was talking about how the label names the piece of music they make as the product or something.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is like dystopia.
I
like, this is like a big
like melancholy infinite sadness is not a fucking product.
It's a work of art, man. So it was so weird. Like that was, well, good thing I watched it. Like not really fully digested everything, but it was definitely an eye opener on, like, you know, like the entertainment business in general, I guess. So
yeah. It was interesting how he was saying too, like, I think James Hetfield did Joe Rogan as well, how they were like, it's really weird when you get famous because it's like this thing where they're like, they dangle this like thing in front of you where it's like, oh, you're going to get, like, if, don't fuck up, or like, don't do this stuff, or like, or you're going to lose this or whatever. But then it's like they want you to do, I don't know, it's really weird. Like, it seems like a really confusing like thing. It's like, you kind of have to walk on eggshells or whatever. I mean, what, I mean, who knows? I've never been in that situation, but like, it seems like from what they explained, like a really weird thing.
I think it depends. I don't know, because I've heard, well, a different story, I guess, but I think so different from whatever James Hetfield was talking about.
Yeah,
like Deftones. Like they're still doing their own thing, so I mean, they just dropped an album which sounds like Deftones but different from every other release. So I mean,
100%. Yeah, so, no, that's cool. I have to listen to that album actually. I haven't sussed it out yet. Yeah, no, definitely, because it's weird too. I guess like going back to like the pop thing as well, how it's like, well, everything is. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of different stuff in the pop world. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have expected people to love like Post Malone or Billie Eilish and stuff like that. I mean, like they're awesome. I love them, but it's interesting because they're so big and they have their own sound going on, and it's like, you know, when you listen to that, it's like, well, where the hell did you get that from? You know, but it seems like it's cool. It's like, well, and I guess Childish Gambino and Kanye West. Oh my god, but like. It's cool how they're doing their own thing like that, but I don't know. It's just weird, like where. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know the.
It's a hit or miss, I would say, at the moment. So, well, I don't know the big politics in it, but I mean, every artist should just like do their own thing. If they like to copy someone, like, just copy it. Just deal with the repercussions later. Like,
No, 100%.
Just do your own thing. And enjoy what you're doing. I think those are good part words to anyone. Yeah, good advice or whatever. Like, I mean, I haven't been too long in the game, you know, like the music side, but you know, as you know, as you go on, as you progress, I think you just do your own thing. I think that's a good way to think about it. So like go through like creatively. So,
definitely. No, 100%. I do sometimes. I get stuck in this thing. Actually, as a kind of a bit of a question for you too. I'm curious if this happens to you, but like I'll I guess think about, because I don't know, I play mostly live stuff with the other like my other two bands. Like we're very much like live bands and stuff, and making my own stuff. There's a lot of like I don't know. I guess there's a few like weird like noise parts and stuff like that. And I always go worried. I'm like, oh, like I don't know. When I go out on a Saturday or a Friday night to go see like a punk band or whatever, like I'm going to mosh. Like I don't really see, unless I like pay tickets to go and like, you know, go and see like a specific like slow or like atmospheric band or whatever. Like I don't really. It's weird, like, because I'm like, oh, this isn't really dance music, and if someone's just coming and not paying tickets, they just come in and watch. Like will they like appreciate it or not? And I guess I get that stuck in my head too, but I need to get that out. I just should make it, like, you know. I guess that's just out.
Yeah. I think if your main focus is for people to mosh to your music, you know, like you're right for, like, you write mosh parts. I think in a forward sense. So I think, I mean, there's no room for experimentation. Like you know, you can experiment on whatever breakdown like breakdown or mosh riff you're doing. But but like that analogy again on the tattoos, like you know, there's a reason why some things are classic, and you know why people gravitate towards a style or to a feeling, because I think it's classics are classics. They don't.
Yeah, I really like that analogy. Like with tattoos, I guess it's like a similar sort of thing behind like old punk rock and That's what I learned from like hardcore bands. Like I literally heard like we just write mosh riffs. Like, that's it, literally. And I'm like, respect, man, because I want to mosh your music. Yeah.
Probably because they kept that in mind. Like, let's make everything moshable.
Yeah. No, 100%. I'm curious with lo-fi stuff. Is there a scene in Melbourne? And like, if you did go to kind of try and, I guess, is there much of a live scene? I'm sure there's probably like people making stuff, but like, I'd just be curious of like where to go. I mean, I guess I'd have to do some research, I guess.
Oh, to be honest, I don't know. Like, I'm not thinking of really like, I haven't thought that far.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing stuff for SoundCloud, I guess. That's it. Like I just make music to just release it and just like have a creative outlet. Because chances are, if I'm not doing music, I'm probably doing nothing. So, you know, like I want to like balance out like what I do in the week, or you know, because for the past couple of years, I just focused on, you know, academics and all that. So I wanted a bit of variation here and there, and, you know, exercise my creativity. You know,
I was going to say too, what got you into, because you did like uni before, so what kind of academic stuff were you doing?
Oh, yeah, I finished like writing up a thesis in microbiology, so it was so left field. Like it's a different there's a different like aspect of your mind that works, I guess. It's not like creativity in terms of like writing, but you got to be succinct and all that, so like succinct and on point. So it's like on my spare time, I tried like doing graphic design and all that, which is also different. So different from science, but
that's cool.
But it's cool.
Like, that's awesome. Like, oh, dude, math.
There's not a lot of math in my course. It's more about concepts and all that. So so I just apply whatever I did on science to whatever I did, like, you know, creatively. Like, if I enjoy something, I'm just gonna ride through it and discover something else and ride through it even more, you know, like like there's no point doing something that you don't like. So
no, 100%.
Like I think that's the main theme for the both of us, to just like doing things that you want to do. In the end, you're gonna be.
No, 100%. It's good that I definitely learn what I don't like. Like, I think that's kind of a thing too. Like the job I used to do, I started full time. I was like 6 weeks ago now, and I was like, I just want some like money to like buy music gear and stuff. And I worked at this like truck place, like building same before, like building trailers and whatever, like building those big, big fucking really big ones. You like put like the lights and stuff on and all that stuff. But it was weird because like when I went to the interview and stuff, it was kind of more set up as like a career thing, and all the guys that were there were like kind of passionate about like building trailers, which was really cool. But I was, I just like couldn't vibe with it. I was like, look, like I get what you're doing and stuff, but like it was weird. Everyone's like, fuck yeah, like we're going to build this trailer that's going to be like really unique and whatever. But they had this cool ones, like they were building one for like I don't know, to hold fish in or something like that. It was really cool. But anyway, I was like, man, like I'm not like I'm not passionate about this. You know what I mean? And like I think it's weird. Like it almost seems like you have to live doing a shit job to know how good doing something you actually like is. Like
it's a hard lesson. But definitely something you should always keep in mind. So
definitely.
Bit of wisdom there.
Yeah, hell yeah. Life lessons with Will. Nah, I don't feel like I should be giving life advice. I'm only like 21. Like, maybe when I'm like 40, I could like give advice on things. I don't know. Well, yeah, thanks for coming on, dude. Fuck, we've been at it for a long time. That was a fucking solid sesh. Yeah, fuck yeah. What time we start? 9:30. So damn.
I think we started at 10, around 10. We started recording around 10.
Yes, solid 2 hours. Very nice. Very nice. Well, this is the longest podcast, so